Hello, everybody. I'm Danny. Nice to see you again. Today, it's the day of a book call. I spent quite some money on books this month. Actually, not so much, but I emptied my Satispay um, saving corner basically. So this part of this application, there is a sort of this app. Sorry, it's sort of like PayPal. Um, that you can put your savings. I built a sort of saving account for books. So I had about 60 euros. I used some in February and most of it in March actually. Well, not completely true. I think I used more in February, but I got more books in March. But this is a whole other story. Anyway, I bought a bunch of mangas I'm very happy about, but also a lot of books. So we better getting started. So first, entire collection of manga there was is Mr. Villain's Day Off by Yu Morikawa. This is about this sort of did I talk to you about this? Why do I think I talked about this? Oh yeah, because I read the first volume in February. Um and I bought the whole series. This is a manga about this sort of general. Is that even the name of it? It's a sort of soldier of this association that wants to uh, defeat humanity. So want to kind of clean Earth from humans. Weird. But on his day off, he really wants to detach from his job, so he discovers the good things on Earth. And this manga is super cool. I read the first three volumes already, and I've got the whole series with me, so it's super fun. I'm really enjoying it. Then I purchased volume 2 of Irayasumi by Keigo Shinzo. This manga is a slice of life type of manga, and it talks about Hiroto, the main character. Sorry, this one, who is a freeter. So basically, he doesn't have a full time job, and he hops from a job to another because working is not his main priority. His main priority is living in tranquility, in with calm, with calmness. But his cousin, who's 18, she moved at his house because she wants to become a mangake, so a manga drawer. And she's Natsumi, and she's quite anxious. So they're living together, and I've read the first volume in I think July, and I ordered the second one, this volume. I'm not joking. In August, I had to wait until like early March, if I'm not mistaken, because the publisher had to get them reprinted. But the time passed, and I just we didn't manage to get a new printed version. I don't know what happened, but it took me quite a while. I was about to cancel my order, but I wanted to support my local comic books independent store. Sorry, there's the kid of one of my neighbors that is running around my house, and I have open windows because it's spring. Um, well, anyway, I went to support this local business. I love this comic book store. So I didn't want to cancel my order because I wanted to support the owner. And at some point, we got this. I also ordered another manga at his at this shop, and then I bought another manga, but from another bookstore that I love. This is Beyond the Clouds Volume 4 by Nike. I guess this is how you pronounce it. It's amazing. Look at the cover. I think it's watercolored. It's amazing. I love the covers of this manga series. This is volume 4 of this steampunk sort of fantasy series that is about this kid, Theo. Well, he's a boy because he's 16, that wants to help Mia, which is a winged person who has lost a wing and doesn't know how to deal with her powers, basically, with her magic. And so he goes on a journey with her to try and find a magician that can teach her how to deal with the powers, which is super cool, in my opinion. Anyway, I also bought a book on my Kobo. I bought the Yungkom Dong library, no, bookstore. You're gonna see the cover up here somewhere. It's a sort of magical realism novel about this bookstore where you go and you should buy books. You get the books you need. You get what you need in that moment. It's a Korean book. I've been recommended that by a bookseller about a year ago, but I never managed to get it. And no, no. Oh yeah, spring. Sorry. Um, I got recommended this by this bookseller, but I didn't purchase the book in that moment, and it was on sale on the Kobo store. So I was like, "It's mine now." My friend read it. My friend Federica, she's a librarian. Super cool. Best job in the world, I think. Maybe. Well, anyway, she recommended to me. I've heard good things about this book, so I really can't wait to read it. And then in Mantua, which is a town I work near to, um, there's this like chain. I think you can say chain in English too. The chain of bookstores that are also specialized in used bookstores that is called Libraccio. Okay, so there's one of the shops of Libraccio in Mantua, and they organized an event where you paid 10 euros. They gave you a tote bag that I have here, and you had 15 minutes to fill the tote bag with all the books you wanted from a specific room. That was the room where they put used books. I fit in my bag 10 books, which means that I basically paid 1 euro for each book. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna start from this one. Also, it's an Italian book. I don't think it had any translation. This is by Benedetta Parodi. She was an host of cooking shows, basically, and she made a lot of cookbooks. And this is one about those fast recipes that you can prepare, for example, when you're late from work, and or maybe you're just home from work, you don't want to do anything special, but you want to do something good, maybe using the things you have in your fridge. And so these are absolutely great, especially for me right now. I swear, I've been living alone for 2 months already, and sometimes I don't want to cook. I just want to get the stuff out of my fridge and just put them in the air fryer and nothing else. And maybe I do it. Well, anyway, super happy because this looks also brand new, which is great. Then I got a book by Rafael Giordano. Um, the title in Italian is Your Second Life Starts When You Understand You Only Have One. This is the book. If well, I think this book has been translated because I've seen these books everywhere. Well, at least in Italy. Anyway, she's a French author, and all of her books are about people starting over, basically. This is quite short. I've seen bigger books by her. I've never read one. Um, I don't even remember if this was the one on my wish list or it was another one, because I don't remember if this is the first one published in she got published. Let me see. Yes, this was the first one. Great, this was on my wish list. This has been on my wish list for quite some time at the moment. Anyway, seems a cool idea. I really like this type of stories, so of course I had to pick it up. Then let me see. Oh, okay, no, let's start with this one. This is still in the nylon, the plastic bag, basically. This is a book by Sophie Kinsella, one of her first books, with her real name, Madeline Wickham, which I think is also the surname of his husband, so not really the surname she was born with. This is Vacanze in Villa. I don't know the English title. Well, I think I should open it at the moment so we can read which was the original title. I loved Sophie as an author. I'm in front of her books. She's been one of my all-time favorite author, and losing her was very bad. This is the second time I lose an author I really love, so it was awful. I'm opening. Oh wow, that's crazy. Let me see the original title. Weird feeling. Weird feeling. Anyway, original title was Sleeping Arrangements. I haven't heard great things about the books she published as Madeline Wickham, but whatever, it was €1 for book, whatever. And I also got another book by her. Let me get it, which is Una ragazza a sposare. Let me see. I don't remember the original title. The Wedding Girl, of course. It's basically the same thing as the Italian title. Uh, Also, this one brand new. That's crazy. The first book that I actually got was a book that my boyfriend recommended to me. Is Un indovino mi disse by Terziano Terzani. I don't know the English title. I will put it on the screen. This is about this journalist, which was Terzani, and one time he went to Asia and he wrote a sort of chronicles with this book. And my boyfriend has recommended to me. He read it when he was in high school, and he really liked his books. And I was like, why not? It's also it's an older copy, this one, but it's in great shape. Let me see what I got. Oh, okay. Michelle Hunziker is an Italian host of TV shows. She wrote this autobiography, which is called Una vita apparentemente perfetta. A ooh, looking like perfect life should be the translation. It's about her life. The reason I picked this up, I picked. I don't know how to speak English anymore. I picked this book. Is that she got into a cult, which I'm not very familiar to with this topic, but I want to know more about how she got into a cult and how she got out of it. Weird, but still, why not? Most of these books are my why nots. I picked up school. How is it called? This one. Well, this is a French book. This is so crazy to me because I didn't know this author was French. Anyway, Daniel Penna. This is the school journal, if I'm not mistaken. I have never read a book by this author, but when I was like a young kid, I was like between elementary and middle grade, elementary school, middle grade, his books were everywhere. I own a different book by him because my boyfriend gave me one of his copies. Um, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I don't want to read the synopsis. Sorry, the plot. I'm bilingual. Bilingual. I don't know. It was a good copy, of course. They were in great shape. Then I got, wow, these flowers for Algernon. Algernon, how do you pronounce that? By Daniel Keyes. Um, while I was in queue for this event, I saw the brand new super fancy cover, super fancy edition, and it was gorgeous. I was like, damn, I'm gonna get this book as soon as I can. Yes, this is an old edition. Well, let's say this is the standard edition in a mass market paperback, basically edition. Brand new condition. I love it. This is a dystopian about Algernon, who is a mouse. Um, the scientists have made some experiments on. He's super smart at the moment. So the scientists decided to use like what they used on Algernon on a guy whose name is Charlie, who sadly, well, not so sadly, who is not so smart, apparently has some mental issue, basically. And so it talks about these um these experiments. I've heard nothing but great things, actually, and especially after the new fancy edition got out, because everybody's talking about this book, I swear. And so I was like, well, it's a dystopian, I have to read it, but I hope this book will be nice, because I love happy endings or good endings. If this ends badly, you hear it from me. I'd be so mad. Then I got a book by an Italian author. My boyfriend and I got the same book, the same event. It was very casual. This is History by Elsa Morante. Um, quite uh, quite a big book, and this is actually a novel, although the title makes you think it's nonfiction. This is a novel that takes place during World War II, if I'm not mistaken, so during fascism. That that's quite interesting to me, because I'm really into books that take place during World War II, fascism. Of course, the good books. I forgot to pick a book from my purse. I'm gonna get it in a moment, but let's finish with this tote bag. The last book I got was Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. Let me see if this is, yes, in emotional, no, yes, Emotional Intelligence. This copy by Daniel Goleman is from my birth year. This copy is from 1997, which is so fun to me. I've been recommended this book so many times by so many people. This is a non-fiction book about how to use your emotional intelligence, and it's super popular even nowadays. It's been almost, well, no, it's been longer than 30 years since its first publication, and here we are again. This is an evergreen, I would call it. So I have it. Finally, will I read it today? No, I don't know when I will be reading this. Wow, I can't speak today. Well, anyway, I'm going to get the last book that I got, because I got it in another situation. So let's wait a second. Here we are. Anyway, I purchased for €2 Il Partigiano Johnny by Beppe Fenoglio. This is another book written by an Italian author about partisans. So the resistance here in Italy during fascism. This is actually inspired by the story, the life and what happened to Beppe Fenoglio. So it's a sort of auto autobiography, not really, but he was a partisan, which is super cool. Sadly, while I was checking this book, I found out that it has no ending because the author never finished it. I am so mad. My boyfriend was with me because we went to this like sort of flea market, and he was like, "Yeah, didn't you know about this?" No, I didn't. And it was like, "Well, you gotta read it anyway because this is a great book." He read it like at least 10 years ago, maybe even longer, and he really liked it. And I really wanted to read it because I said it. The historical period, the context of this book, this is what I want to read, especially when it comes to my own country. So, well, this was my book haul, and probably when you see this video, I'll be having some brand new books again because I'm going to another event, not like this one with the tote bag, but sort of like used book market in a city that has a lot of bookstores. So, yay! I'm gonna spend my old salary. No, I'm joking, but this month was very bad in terms of money spent because there was a lot of stuff going on. Well, anyway, here we are. I hope you enjoyed this video. I apologize because I know most of my books are in Italian, and also sometimes I don't remember how to speak English, which is crazy since I got C1 certification, and also I've been speaking English since I was 6. But if you knew me, you also could know that I'm very bad at speaking Italian too sometimes. So, whatever. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. You can subscribe, but the thing I want the most from you is to know what was the last book you purchased. So I'm waiting for comments down below. Bye!